Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So, welcome to Forged from Iron. I am Gatesy. This is a continuation of our, excuse me, You Are the Manager series, and I'll try not to die during the broadcast, and if I do, phone 999. So, to give people that's not seen this before the nuts and bolts of it, basically what we're doing here, it's a little bit of role play. We put our guests in the role of David Moyes in the summer transfer window, and we give our guest an imaginary £85 million budget to basically spend on players bringing into the squad as they see fit. Now, if they use up the entire budget and they still feel that they want to strengthen in certain areas, they can dip into the free transfer market. That's the beauty of this. And it's purely for a bit of fun. I mean, we're going to use the player valuations on transfer market. Now, we know that in the real world, they're possibly not what the players are going to go through in a real life situation. Again, it's purely a bit of fun. It's purely interested in who we're selling. We're just on who we're pulling into the team. Like I say, just a bit of fun. So, joining me and putting him in the hot seat is Mr. Andy Moyes. I mean, Miles. That was purely on purpose. Purely on purpose. How you doing, Miles?
You sure you... Yeah, mate, I'm good. Soccer AM's not on for the summer, so we thought we'll do our own Soccer AM on a Saturday to keep people occupied.
Exactly.
So yeah, no, I'm all good. As you can see, people, I've been to Romford again this morning. New haircut, Turkish shave, feel $1 million again. It's amazing. Best feeling ever.
It is. I've got to say, I had a Turkish shave done on me for the first time. I think it was about 10. Yeah, it would have been about 10 years ago. It was before my grandmother's 80th birthday, and she's just turned 90. So it was 10 years ago that I first had a Turkish shave. So I'd have been 35, and I was very apprehensive about it. And the guy that did it was an old sort of Turkish Cypriot guy, near where I live in Dartford, and I was having my hair cut, and I thought, do you know what? I'm just going to go for it. And I said to him, sort of Turkish shave, and I tell you what, literally walked out of that place feeling like $1 million. It's something else. And I've sort of told many people that are a bit skeptical, honestly, do it, because it's like it will totally change the way you think about it. Brilliant.
Yeah, no, it's not so much that though, mate. Is the last two times, so in my one, it's quite busy, and there's like 8 barbers in there, even with social distancing. You can imagine how big this shop is. And he gives me a face mask as well. I'm not afraid to admit it. I've had a face mask as well, and it was amazing. And the best feeling is when they put the oil stuff on before they put the hot towel, and you just feel your pores open, and then you just lay there for a couple of minutes. It's amazing.
Yeah, incredible, isn't it? So anyway, enough about barbershop talk. We've got a couple of people in the live chat already. And already the protests have started. So, I mean, he hasn't even bought anyone yet, Cal. I mean, come on, he hasn't bought anyone, he hasn't sold anyone.
Yeah. Well, Joey O'Brien on a free's just gone now. So well done, Cal.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I'm gonna find someone else.
Cal. He'll have to just sort of, carry on playing up front for Shamrock Rovers, which is quite strange. And my sister-in-law has joined us all the way from sunny Brisbane, Australia. How are you doing, Jackie? You got your hair done? Oh yeah, it looks nice on you.
We're in sunny Hornchurch. I'm in sunny Hornchurch.
Sunny Hornchurch. Oh, and look who's just joined us. Look who's just turned out to cut the grass, gents. I need entertainment for the next 3 hours. It's not going to last that long. It will probably last about an hour, give or take. All depends on Milesy. So, in 3 hours, that's a short show for us, isn't it? I mean, we did 5 hour one, 5 hours 1 minute, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, I suffered. I'm not going to lie. I was in bed by about 11 o'clock yesterday. I was suffering after that, especially because of work.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm with you, mate. I had a couple of strong cups of coffee before I went out Friday morning. So
anyway, don't blame you.
Anyway, on to business. So, Mr. Moyes, I know who you're going to select because obviously for speed purposes for me, it's just easier if I know to get the all the bits and pieces up on Transfer Market to share for the people at home to analyze. So, Mr. Moyes, with your budget, what are you looking to do with it?
Right, so just so to make people, and not only that, because I'm very organised as well, and the way I've sent it to Gatesy, I am putting all my players who I'm going to buy from position order, starting from goalkeeper and then working the way up to the pitch. So, in my opinion, we need a goalkeeper straight away, and I think he can really challenge him. I think he's very underrated, and the person I'm going for is Southampton goalkeeper Alex McCarthy. Um, I think over the last few years, he's become very, very. He's been in and out of the England squad as well, which he deservedly so. And I still. This is just like a short term because of his age. He's 31, so he's still got a few years in. And the way I see it is, he could be a backup for Fabianski or push Fabianski this season, and then become the number two when we go and get a bet. I'm just trying to use my money wisely for this summer. And the age of 31, as you can see, like he's actually gone down, Gatesy. So I might have more money to spend at the end. I've got it for 6 million for me.
We'll
Yeah,
when I on that.
Yeah, when I done that on Monday, he's gone down. Okay, that's surprising. But yeah, no, that's a good thing.
We'll keep an eye on that, because there might be others that have gone up or down. You never know.
Yeah, no, exactly. But yeah, no. So he played 30 appearances last year in the Premier League, which is not bad. I think he did have a couple of injuries, to be fair, and obviously Fraser Forster done well as well. So that was another goalkeeper who I was going to consider. And 7 clean sheets. It might not seem like a lot, but in the Premier League, think of Southampton. They've had a few players missing, like Vestergaard and stuff like that. Walker Peters has been a huge miss for them, but in my opinion, I think he's a very good goalkeeper and very underrated. And in my opinion, I know we're linked with Sam Johnson, but I'm surprised he wasn't in the mix, to be honest. Alex McCarthy as well.
So, yes, I think that's a very good choice, Mr. Miles. Very good choice indeed, if I may say. A good goalkeeper.
Shut up, Cindy. Anyway, so
hopefully, sorry, Gatesy. Hopefully, Tom's not watching at the minute, and a cup of tea's just got fell out of his mouth.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good. So just looking here. So just again for the people at home, so that may or may not know too much about this fella. So he's 31 years of age. He's an English goalkeeper. He's played. I think he's got 1 cap. He's got a contract at Southampton for another year as of the 30th of June. And as Milesy said, when he did this the other day, he was rated at 6 mil. He's dropped by £1.5 million. So that might mean he's got a bit more money to spend. Who knows? 30 appearances, 57 goals conceded, 7 clean sheets, 2 yellow cards. He was in starting 11 79% of the time, playing 79% of the minutes. Yes, there it is. He's got 1 cap for England's full team in November the 15th, 2018. He's also got 3 caps for the under-21s team. And just looking down there, he's also been at the books of Crystal Palace, QPR and Reading, as well as also loan spells at Ipswich, Leeds, Brentford, etc., etc., etc. So he's done the rounds by the looks of things. He's quite. In fact, he's had. I'd suggest he's had more clubs than Tiger Woods. I nearly said Tony the Tiger, but I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, great.
Great. Absolutely. Just having a couple of comments. We've got West Ham Online's popped in. How are you doing, mate? Hope you're well. I don't think he's a fan of McCarthy somehow.
Okay.
That's fine. All about opinions, mate. All about opinions. Yeah. He thinks he's arguably the worst goalie in the league. Well, really? I suggest that obviously Ralph Hasenhüttl doesn't agree with that, because otherwise Fraser Forster would be the number. Who knows? There you go. Anyway, it's all about opinions. So we welcome all opinions. Yeah, we welcome all opinions. So it's not a problem. So
I hope you ain't got a vendetta against Southampton. I hope you ain't got a vendetta against Southampton, West Ham Online, because I've got another one.
He's just asking, though, backup or starter. You did explain it earlier, but just in case he missed it.
Yeah, no. So this is literally, so if Fabianski gets injured, and obviously I'm Moyes and I want to spend more money on the attacking going forward, and I feel he could become the number 2 if once Fabianski retires and we bring a better goalkeeper in. So yeah, literally it's just in my opinion he's better than Randolph, and I think he would do it. I think he would do a job for us. So yeah, that's the main reason.
No problem. And Kent saying, "How you doing, Kent? Hope you're well, mate, and having a good start to your weekend." He says Freddie Woodman, the Newcastle goalkeeper. I think he was on loan at Swansea last season, wasn't he?
Yeah. So this may come to bite me on the backside, considering the track. I was considering him, Kent. I'm not actually lying, but he was valued at 9 million. But I didn't have enough money to get him, so that's why Alex McCarthy's in. But I'll tell you what, Gatesy, we'll keep Woodman as a
Premier League manager
at the back door, because if the prices have changed and I have enough money, I'll get Woodman instead of McCarthy, because that was actually my first choice. So good choice, Kent. I admit, is a great goalkeeper.
Yeah, and you're right, West Ham Online as well. There was a rotation policy that Hasenhüttl did due to poor form. I mean, to be fair, it was one of those where I don't think either one of them was significantly better than the other.
Yeah.
But I mean, given that McCarthy was the number one for 79% of the season, as it says on Transfer Market, then you tend to suggest that he favoured McCarthy more than he favoured Forster for whatever reason. And Cal's just come in and said he had enough trust in Randolph. I'd only get another keeper if he's going to start. Yeah, again, that's all about opinions. I mean, but as I say, Andy Moyes is in charge, so he's given his reasoning for it. Woodman for 10 mil. I personally, I think that's a bit of a bargain, to be honest. I think he's 23, 24. Still got his best years to come. So the only thing that would concern me is he's not been tested in the Premier League to any regular basis. So, playing in the championships would be, is one thing, and he's done well there. But and West Ham Online's just asked thoughts on Guehi. I mean, we might come to that at the end. West Ham Online. We're just going to concentrate on the main event, as it were. So, so that's the goalkeeper. Now, I rather sense that you're moving on to defence now, are you not, Mr. Miles?
Yeah. No. I'm happy with the defence. I'm just spending 85 million on a striker.
No, hang on. You've just spent 4.5 million on McCarthy. You've only got 80.5 million left. Don't be cheeky.
No. I am going into the free market. I believe Titch mentioned him as well. I don't know whether anyone else. I'm not going to lie. I've not really catched up on anyone else. And available on a free, I think this is a steal, and that's Ryan Bertrand. His Premier League experience, 31 years of age. Like I said, I know people are probably thinking, why am I looking at someone at that age? But I think his salary, I think he is quite valued high. I think he's on like 70, 80 grand a week. At Southampton, but the way I see it is 2 years with Ryan Bertrand. I think him and Creswell are very similar, but I think Bertrand's a better defender going forward and a bit more pace now. But he is a good delivery of the ball. Obviously, a Champions League winner. He was the unsung hero. So yeah, no, he's a very good player, and I think he would fit in well with the squad. And I know, what was I saying? Especially with the Europe games coming up, I feel we could do a job even in the Premier League. Oh yeah, Jazz had Bertrand as well. Yeah, no, it's very good. He's a very good player, and I just feel he'll be a good addition. And I believe he's got a few connections. Like, obviously, I know he's only been in England squad a few times, stuff like that, and that experience could become crucial. And yeah, I just think he'll be a good addition.
Yeah. Okay, so again, for people that are not too sure about this guy, Ryan Bertrand, 31 years of age. He's at Southampton at the moment, but he will be a free transfer. So despite the fact it says £7.2 million, we're not using that because obviously his contract will be up. So this is a free transfer, ladies and gentlemen, value for money. So he's a left back by trade. Last season, for Southampton, he made 29 appearances in the Premier League, got 1 assist. He played 76% of the minutes, and he was in the starting 11 76% of the time. He can also be deployed as a left midfielder, and obviously, as Milesy said, we know him from his time at Chelsea, where he picked up the biggest pot of them all, the Champions League trophy. He's also had spells at Oldham Athletic, Norwich, Reading in his younger days. So, he's got quite a lot of experience to bring to the table. He's got 19 caps for England. And he's also got 4 caps for the Great Britain Olympic team that went in the London Olympics in 2012. So, yeah, a lot of experience, and he's not old. I mean, 31 years of age. Yeah, he can still do a job. In answer to the question that Hammers Fans United Titch just put out, what have I missed so far? Up to this point, he's only put a goalkeeper in, and he's gone for Alex McCarthy at $4.5 million from Southampton. So that's all you've missed so far, Titch.
And one thing to add, Gatesy, I've just realised with Bertrand as well is if we play a back 5, he would be a good left wing back with Creswell behind him. Can you imagine that? 2 solid on that left hand side, so that could be very good.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Tom's probably just woken up from our show on Thursday going into Friday, isn't he?
Yeah, he's sitting.
That was crazy.
He's on the beer already.
Yeah. And Titch, much appreciate that, mate. I really do. As Titch says there, guys, hit the like button if you like it, and hopefully if you haven't subscribed, please do that as well. And no problem, Titch. Thanks for that. Tom's saying he slept all Friday. Yeah, I'll bet you did, mate. You know, I bet your missus wasn't too pleased. No West Ham online. No, absolutely no chance. No.
No, Gatesy, tell a lie. Remember, we was going to do something for Isla. We were going to do a 24-hour stint with all of us doing different pits. That is lined up.
There was, but be doing sort of like a 10-hour stint of a 24-hour. That's a bit too much. But there you go.
And no toilet break. No toilet break.
I'd have to have a bucket just here. Just have a bucket there.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Ryan Bertrand in on a free to join Alex McCarthy. So you've still got 80.5 million burning a hole in your pocket, Mr. Manager. Are we done, or are we continuing with our strengthening?
No, I've got another freebie up my sleeve.
Have you now?
Yeah, and this one, I don't know whether he has been picked. I'll prove me if I'm wrong. Is Roman Saiz? He's available on a 3 from Wolves.
I don't think anyone has mentioned him so far. I might be wrong, but I'm fairly sure no one has. And
I'm going for a stint. I'm not going to lie. I'm not picked everyone who's 31 years of age, but this is another one who's 31 years of age. But no, I've always been a fan of him, to be honest. And it's not so much that Gatesy as well. He's a goal scorer as well. I know he only scored 3 goals last year, but I think that was probably one of his lowest over the last few years. Solid defender, left-footed as well, which is very hard to find. A left-footed centre half, and he can play left back as well. So that's like an added bonus. I like the way Nuno, I know he's not there no more, the way he got him playing. He had a very good understanding with Connor Cody, so I feel he could work well with a Bonner at the back as well. And it's going to sound very silly. You may laugh, and with him being French, I think he could help Diop as well. I'm just thinking like do you know what I mean? I don't think there is. Diop's the only. So I think he could really help him, and transfer that's gone down as well. What I wrote the other day, I know he's available on a 3, but I wrote he was at 11 million the other day as well. So bloody hell, I think I may be able to buy a whole new team. But valued at 9 million.
Thinking cap on.
Yeah, I know, but I like the players going forward, so I'll see. They're probably gone up now, Mark.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So there might be a little bargain that you pick up that you weren't anticipating.
Yeah, but no, don't know what anyone else thinks. Yeah, good. Yeah, no, I agree with what Kent said. Yeah, I think he would be good for Europe, Kent. To be honest, I think in Europe we'll play the wing backs, and that's where the likes of Bertrand and players like that will come very, very crucial for us. So yeah, I don't know what anyone else thinks in the chat, but yeah, I think he's a bargain for a free transfer.
Yep, fair enough. So it's squad depth you're going for. So 31 years of age. He's French born, but he's a Moroccan citizen. His contract, as Milesy says, is running out on the 30th of June. and he's leaving Wolves on a free. Rated at £9 million, but as I say, for the purposes of this, he will be costing not a penny in transfer fee anyway. 27 appearances in the Premier League last season, 3 goals, 2 yellow cards. He was in the starting 11 71% of the time, playing 70% of the minutes.
Oh, he can play a holding mid. He can play holding mid as well.
Default position. Oh. Yeah, it's just what I was about to say. His default position is centre back, but he can also be deployed as a defensive mid. So it's a little bit of cover also for Declan Rice and Thomas Souček. He has 43 caps for the Moroccan national team. He is also their captain. So he's got a little bit of leadership qualities there that he brings to the table. And just looking there, he went to Wolves from Angers in France. He's also been at Le Havre, Clermont. And so 31 years of age, leadership skills, bit of versatility about him, Premier League experience, coming on a free. I think that ticks a good few many boxes, to be fair. I agree with what Kent says, that he's probably more adept in a 3 than he is in a 4.
Yeah, I agree.
But as you say, it could well be that, if we're going to play the 3 at the back or /5 at the back, then he would be a welcome addition in that particular formation. And Hammers Fans United agreed with you, said good shout. And Tom Burford saying, looked into size myself. Wolves fans seemed very keen to get rid of him.
I think the Wolves fan base is very, very, very changed over the last couple of years. Yeah. I always like him, and like I said, it'll be better. I think he'll be a good addition. I've not stopped there in my defence, though, Gatesy, have I?
No.
And my next signing is a player who we're actually linked with, and I think he will be a great addition. I saw a lot of Nottingham Forest, especially close to the end of the season, especially with a lot of games being on telly, and that is Joe Worrell.
Yep.
I think this is a steal. You watch these value go up. I value him at 4 million. You watch him, he's probably gone up, isn't he? Oh, he's gone down as well. Christ. Is this because it's the end of the season and they run it by form or something? Maybe. Yeah. Oh, bloody hell. I'm going to have some dough left at the end of the season. But no, another good player, I think. Good leadership qualities, and especially with Barberena going. I know I'm bringing Saiz in as well, but you can never have too many defensive covers. Like I said, I've seen him play a few times. He played quite a few games last year, 31 appearances, 1 goal and 1 assist as well. And I just think he's a steal. 24 years of age, so he's got a lot of years ahead of him, and I think he could strengthen our backline, to be honest, and English as well, because especially with the homegrown players, they can become very handy.
Yeah, absolutely. So just again, for the people at home watching this, 24 years of age, Joe Worrell. He is a Nottingham native, English, 24, November, where's that coming from? June 2024 is his contract expiry at Nottingham Forest, rated at 3.6 million on transfer market. He made 31 appearances in the Championship, 1 goal, 1 assist. And look at that for a centre-back. That's quite incredible. No yellow cards for a centre-back in the Championship. Wow.
Welcome, VAR.
Yeah. 67% of the starting 11s he made, and he played 67% of the minutes. And his one and only position is centre-back. He has caps for both the England under-21s and the under-20s. And just looking here, he obviously is Nottingham Forest at the minute. He has had loan spells, however, at Rangers in Scotland, and also at a club quite local to us, Dagenham and Redbridge.
Digger, dagger. Oi, oi, oi.
So yeah, I mean that's because you're signing him on a little bit of long-term potential there, aren't you, Milesy? Really, that's what you're looking at.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the thing is,
so much so far.
And the thing is, what you realise, Gatesy, is like at Bonner. I know Bonner's Italian. A lot of defenders hit their peak at like 27 to like 31, 32. So yeah, definitely one for the future. And I think he'll be just a good player to have around the squad as well.
Absolutely. So, is that so 3.6 million takes your budget now to 76.9 million? He's got left, ladies and gentlemen. Is that you done?
Yeah, that's going into the David
Should we go
Moyes
home?
and David.
We'll spend that on a few rums.
Yeah, no, that's going into the loan from the club for the Dildo Brothers. So I'll let them have it.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Right, Gatesy. I might need your help with the pronunciation because I've heard different. My next signing is another free transfer guy.
No one's gonna care.
Yeah, it's Hayese.
Okay,
Hayese is an Albanian international available. Another one available on a free from Napoli. 27 years of age, and I do watch a lot of Italian football, and I think Jazz may be able to, if he knows anything as well, because I know he watches it. And look at his valuation as well. That's gone down as well. God, I'm gonna have so much dough. If that like his valuation
free anyway.
Yeah, but I mean his evaluation. I'm just thinking out loud of all my others. But yeah, he's 11.7 million. Absolute bargain. He can play right back and left back, and yeah, he's unreal. He can defend. He only got 2 assists, mine, but he was heavily involved in a lot of Napoli's build up when I watched him in Europe, and yeah, I just think he's he'll be another good position. I know Fredericks has done well in there, but I think the fact that he can play right back, Gatesy, instead of, because I think Fredericks' best position is a wing back, so I think he'll be a great cover for Kufal.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm not going to try pronouncing his name. How did you pronounce it?
Hayese?
Hayese, yeah, him. Yeah. The Albanian bloke. So he's 27 years of age. And yeah, if it's a name that I'm going to struggle with, then I'm not going to.
Oh, okay. I've just clicked play on Transfer Market. It's Hesse. You can press play on players. Yeah, Hesse. If you scroll down, Gates, you can actually press play, and it tells you how to pronounce it. If you scroll further down.
So we'll go with Hesse. Okay, yeah. So Hesse, 27 years of age, Albanian. He's currently at Napoli, but he will be leaving on a free, rated at 11.7 mil by Transfer Market. In Serie A last season, he made 24 appearances, got 2 assists, 2 yellow cards. He was in the starting 11 for 53% of the matches, playing 52% of the minutes. His default position is right back. He can be deployed as a left back as well. He has 58 caps for the Albanian national team. And just looking here, he's been in Italy a little while, because before he was at Napoli, he was at Empoli as well, and he's been there since the under 17. So obviously someone that an Italian team has looked at and thought has some potential, and he's been there for a good while. And I'm not being funny. Yeah. You don't sort of go to Serie A from Albania and stay there for that length of time if you're some sort of mug. So yeah, I think that's potentially a good signing, and a bit of versatility, because the guy can play as a right back by default, but can play as a left back as well.
Yeah. Right. That's my defence done, Gatesy.
That's your defence done. Sorted. So are we going home now? Because like I say, £76.9 million. We've got to buy an awful lot of lager and rum with that. Buy an awful lot of anything with that, to be fair.
Oh, I know. But I think people are going to be impressed with my attacking going forward. I'll do another spoiler. All the rest is cash money. I've only got one more free transfer. All the rest is cash. Yeah.
Cathal's going with the pronunciation high S. Is that?
Yeah, high SA. Yeah. High SA. Yeah. If you click on Transfer Market, you can click play, and it pronounces some of the names. But I'll just call him H.
Yeah. I'll go with H. That's fine. So it could be that he's a victim of his versatility, Kent. It could also be that maybe, it's like sometimes when a club knows that a player's on their way out, they don't tend to play him so much in certain circumstances. So it could also be a little bit of that. Who knows?
But no,
anyway, Mr. Manager.
And with regards to that as well, European experience, that's the reason why I bought him as well. Obviously, he's played.
Another thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. So
what we doing?
Spoiler alert for everyone: I'm not buying Jesse Lingard. Just a spoiler alert for everyone.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I'm buying. Yeah.
Could do.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So my next player is a player who I actually wanted last summer, and with them not having a manager at the minute, I think Crystal Palace might accept this, Mr. Gates, and and in my opinion, it may split the fan base up. Is Eze is my first big money signing.
I reckon there's someone
wow.
that we know that might be foaming at the mouth at this one.
Yeah,
that's all
Gatesy,
I'm saying.
I'm gonna have shitloads of money. He's valued at 21 million when I've done this on Monday.
Wow.
Okay, so I might be buying another player. Yeah, 18 million. I don't know where to start with this guy. Like I said at the start, I really wanted him anyway last summer. He lit the championship alight, and this season he's been up there with Wilfried Zaha for the most impact player. What he has, I know he's got that injury at the moment, which takes him out until the end of the year. But I feel when he comes back, he'll make the big difference for what we have. Not only that, he's got a bundle of goals and assists, and he scored a couple of free kicks as well. So 6 goals and 6 assists he got last season. First season in the Premier League. That's not bad going considering the money what we paid for Ben Rama and what we paid for that. The money to gains ratio. I think there's no contest in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay. So just looking here. So he's 22 years of age. Crystal Palace have only had him for 12 months. He's rated at 18 million on Transfer Market. You said he was rated at 21 the other day.
Yeah.
That's an extra 3 million quid you've got there. My goodness. 34 appearances in the Premier League last season, 4 goals, 6 assists, 3 yellow cards. In the starting 11, 76% of the time, playing 75% of the minutes. And just looking there at his positions, his main positions, attacking midfield, can be deployed either as a left or a right midfielder. He has 8 caps for England at under 21 level and 7 as an under 20 international. And just looking here, he went to Palace from QPR. He's also had spells at Wickham, Millwall under 18s. I think we might forgive him for that. Reading Youth, etc., etc. So yeah, he could be quite a useful addition, Mr. Manager, I feel.
Yeah, no, and I feel the likes of he's got very good energy about him, and depending what formation we're going to be playing, he'll be mainly. I think he will be well. We've got the pace with Bowen and stuff like that, but what he can do off the ball, and this is definitely going to help my my strikers when I get down to them. So yeah,
absolutely. Okay, so is that us done? Yeah, but I probably should tell the people at home he's down to a meager 58.9 million. I don't know how he's going to cope. Poor lamb.
No, neither do I. It looks like my goalkeeper's coming in, Gates. I think I've got the cash already. My first choice, McCarthy's out the door, I think, but we'll do that at the end.
Okay.
Yeah. So my next one is he was known at West Brom last year. Played last night. Works his socks off, but they got destroyed by the Italians. But is okay, Lukushlu.
There you go.
I think Kent's a huge fan of him as well. I remember when we've done a few shows, he's commented on players who could come in nicely for us. And yeah, I just feel he'll be a good addition. Sits there in the back four, breaks the ball. The thing is, what he doesn't get very good credit for, Gatesy, he can actually pass the ball very well. And I feel like with the players what I'm bringing in and the players that we've got at the club, that could be a huge difference for us winning and drawing a game, because we'll be hitting a lot of teams on the counter. Like I said, Turkish international, very good age, still 27, so he's still got age on his side. He only played 16 games for West Brom, but I think there would have been more dead and buried if it wasn't for him as well. I'm not saying that you rely on one player, but Just think if he plays with the likes of, I'm just thinking more of a free Gatesy. Say for example, if we wanted to tighten up the game, can you imagine a team trying to get through the Kushlu, Suchek, and Rice? I don't think you would have a chance, would you? Really?
Be a bit difficult.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my
difficult.
next that's my next signing, Mr. Gates. I'm getting more money, mate. He was rated 7.5 million on Monday. I've got another bit.
I think you could be doing a few extra signings, mate. So
Yeah.
just to go through the nuts and bolts with this fella. So yeah, okay, Lukushlu. He's 27 years of age. He's a defensive midfielder. He says he's obviously West Brom's player, but that's only on loan. He's actually, I believe, Celta Vigo, if I remember correctly. And looking here, he's rated at 6.75 mil. He made 16 appearances in the Premier League last season. If I just click on this, though, you can also see he made 12 appearances in La Liga. So yeah, he made 28 league appearances in both those competitions. So just looking here, defensive midfielder. He can also play central midfield and at centre back. So again, a bit more versatility there. And yeah, he's on loan from Celta Vigo. His contract there expires on the 30th of June, 2023. 35 caps for the Turkish national team. And just looking here, he's also been at Trabzonspor, one of the big clubs back in his native Turkey, along with a few other Turkish clubs. I'm not going to butcher their names because I would absolutely I would get all of the people watching this that have Turkish connections and family and all the rest of it telling me that I couldn't pronounce Turkish names. No, ought to give it up. So I'll leave that there. But Okay Yokushlu is coming in for 6.75 million, taking you down to 52.15 million.
Yeah.
Is that you done?
No, I've got another central midfield player, Premier League player. Another player, in my opinion, goes very under the radar, works for a very hard working manager, and he, I wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of his manager either, so I reckon that might be a reason why he works his backside off. My next one is Josh Brownhill from Burnley.
Now, I don't think anyone's picked this fella yet, but I've got to be honest, I've seen this player play. I like this kid.
Yeah, no, Gates, 25 years of age. He played 33 games for Burnley. He can play centre mid or CDM, but it says on Transfer Market he can play on the right. I know he's not quick, but say, for example, if you're closing out a game, I think he'll go out there and do a job. He's got a very good understanding with Ashley Westwood. They both work well together. Good passer of the ball. And with Burnley just playing a 4-4-2, you need to have midfield players with a lot of stamina. So I think he would be a great player to have around. English as well, and yeah, I'm just a huge fan of him in my opinion. So yeah, I think he would fit nicely in the team.
Yeah. Do you know one other player at Burnley I really like, and I'm not going to say Chris Wood, no, but Dwight McNeil, I think he's a cracking player.
Yeah, to be honest, Gatesy, I might have to swap him because if the transfer's gone down, I might swap him for Eze.
Okay.
I don't know. Okay. I don't know how much money it was. We'll see how it goes at the end. How much money? Because I literally worked to a tight budget. Where I spent 82.5 million, but all the money's gone down. So yeah, that may be a maybe, but we'll come back to that at the end. So we'll pencil that. We'll pencil that in. But yeah, no, he's another good player who I think could help us. I don't know what anyone else thinks in the chat, what they think of him, but. Yeah, I think another good player, mate.
So just looking here, 25 years of age. He's from Warrington, English, obviously. He's Burnley's player until the 30th of June, 2024, as things stand right now. 6.3 million is the rating on Transfer Market. 33 appearances in the Premier League last season. 1 assist. He was in the starting 11 84% of the time, playing 82% of the minutes. Default position, as I say, central midfielder, can also play defensive mid and right mid. So again, a bit more versatility there. And just looking here, he went to Burnley for £9 million in January from Bristol City. He's also had spells at Preston and Barnsley. So there we go. So Josh Brownhill is your next signing.
Yeah.
Not bad. And as I say, guys, you guys in the live chat again, please feel free to let us know what you think of Milesy's signings, good, bad, or indifferent. So Josh Brownhill's done. He's signed on the dotted line, and he's wearing a different claret and blue.
Yeah.
That
the better
takes you
claret and
down,
blue.
Mr. Manager, to 40. Absolutely. That takes you down to a paltry, a meager, a £0.85 million. How are you going to cope?
Rubbish. I don't know, mate. I really don't know. Are you ready for another freebie?
Oh, I like a freebie. Go on, hit me with it.
Ex-Premier League sensation, Dutch international, Memphis Depay.
Oh, cheeky.
Yeah.
Cheeky. Now, explain your reasoning, Mr. Manager.
What a player. I don't know what else. And that last season, I know we've got some good, but we lacked pace. Pace. And he has got that in abundance. Great player. Tell you what, Gatesy as well, he can hit a free kick as well. He's another good player to have on set pieces. But I know everyone says that the French league is flipping nothing, but he played 37 appearances last season, 12 assists and 20 goals. Like, if that's not Premier League quality, he didn't get the... He's a bit like Martial at Man United. He's not really been given the chances and the run of games. So, yeah, no, that's for me.
What do you think? Because obviously he had a spell at Manchester United where under Louis van Gaal. What do you think went wrong there? Was he just too? Was he too young, or the club was too big for him? What do you think?
I think it's the same as Wilfried Zaha, mate. I think it was a bit too early. I think if he was going to Man United 2 years ago, I think he would be a totally different player. I'm a huge fan of his, and I just think he'll be a great addition. So yeah, that's the main reason for it. What about you? Do you reckon that's the same? Do you reckon it was a bit too young?
I do. I happen to think that he was going into arguably the biggest club in the world. He was obviously a young player, and some guys are sort of like can hit the ground running. Some people take a bit more time. The problem is that sort of like with Manchester United, if you don't come in and light it up immediately, then you're a bit of a failure. I mean, another player that they've got at the minute that I actually think is a good player, but I think is probably going to struggle at Manchester United through no fault of his own, is Donny van der Beek.
Yeah, absolutely, mate.
Similar thing. I think he'll probably be a player that will be gone in about. He might be gone in the summer transfer window. He might be gone, within the next year. But I think that unless something very strange happens there, I think his time there is limited, and he'll probably go wherever in Europe. Whether he'll stay in England remains to be seen. But he'll probably go somewhere else, and he'll light it up again, and you'll think, wow. Is that the same player? And the same with this guy. I mean, look, let's look at this, right, guys? Just looking at this, he's 27 years of age. Transfer market rate him at 40.5 million, and he's available on a free. Now, how often are you going to find a player rated at that amount that's free? That's incredible. And yeah, it's Olympique Lyonnais in Ligue 1, but he can only play who's put in front of him. 37 appearances in the league, 20 goals, 12 assists. He was in the starting 11 87% of the time, playing 86% of the minutes. Main positions as centre forward, can be played as a left winger or an attacking midfielder. And just looking here, he's got 64 international caps, 26 goals. And as I say, he was at Manchester United previously. And before that, they signed him from, I'll do the Dutch pronunciation, should I? PSV Eindhoven. There you go. I mean, so I agree with you, Milesy. I think he is a cracking player. I think that his time in the Premier League last time was probably not. Yeah, I don't think he was quite given the chance. I think that he was probably wrong time, wrong club, if I'm being honest. I think if it had been a year or two later and maybe it had been with us or, a club, that maybe didn't have the same what's the word I'm looking for? The same sort of aspirations. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've got a different set of targets. Manchester United is sort of like, Champions League is a minimum, winning the Premier League, beyond that. West Ham, with the greatest of respect, we don't generally go into a season saying, right, our first target is to qualify for the top 4, and beyond that, we want to try and win the Champions League. So it's a different set of expectations. That's what I meant. So
so this is the main reason.
Titch is agreeing with you. And just another thing to point out, you look there, he's got the armband. He's a captain. So again, this is a guy that is. He's got some leadership characteristics about him, and we need leaders, So you've brought in who was the other captain? It was Saiss.
And Worrell as well. He's captain.
So you've got Saiss Worrell, one of a captain as well. Okay,
I think he is
another captain. This guy, you've got Mark Noble at the club. You've got Declan Rice at the club. You've got other leaders at the club like Angelo Ogbonna, Craig Dawson, Lucas Fabianski, Aaron Cresswell. We need as many leaders so that sort of like when we get situations which will inevitably happen during a long and attritional season in Europe and in the domestic competitions, is you're going to get questions asked of you and you need to have answers. And the more leaders you've got that can drive on and pull the other players that are maybe lacking in quality department as possible, then so much the better, in my opinion. And as I say, he's 27 years of age. So really, he's in his prime.
Yeah, it's not so much that, Gatesy, and we say it all the time. What's the one thing what any team hates playing against is pace, and he's got that. He's got that. Yeah, exactly. And on a free transfer, don't get me wrong. When you get a free transfer, I'll give him the 120 grand a week, considering we've got the Ukrainian donkey on that amount of money. So if he's on the 120 grand a week, I'll give him 120 grand a week to come and imagine that in Europe, playing against that kind of pace as well. So, could be a good player in my opinion. Hopefully, we can get it over the line.
So, a player rated at £40.5 million, you're getting through the door for zilch. So, you still got £45.85 million burning a hole in your back pocket.
Yeah.
Are we done?
No.
I know you're not. Carry on.
Two more strikers. I've got 2 more strikers, gents. Peach is going to love one of them. I'll get him out the way first. My first signing is another English Championship forward, and that is Adam Armstrong.
There he is.
I've wanted him at the club for the last 2 years. He's got something as well. I've just mentioned it about Memphis Depay. Pace. And the way I see us playing, I think we'll be playing a lot of counter-attacking football and hitting teams, especially the old school teams, the likes of, I know West Brom have gone down, but like the Watfords and people like that. This is where we'll need to punish, and we'll need players like this. 24 years of age, so he's not even hit his peak yet. Played 40 games for 40 appearances, 5 assists and 28 goals. Everyone says the championship, in my opinion, the championship's probably up there for competitive wise, the top 10 leagues in Europe. I think, in my opinion, once we've experienced it, it's so hard to get out of there. And Blackburn is not exactly setting the league alight either. So in an average team, getting that amount of goals, he must have some quality. I don't know about you, Gatesy.
Yeah, no, I think that, again, the old saying, you can only beat what's put in front of you, and you could turn around and put forward the narrative that, but he scored all those goals against second-rate teams. Well, that's because he's playing in a second-rate team in a, and I don't mean this, disrespectfully, but it is a second-rate league because the first-rate league is the Premier League. So, but he can only score against who's put in front of him. Now, whether he would come to the Premier League and be as prolific, I would say no. The quality of defenders he's going to face inevitably will be superior. But could he at least come in and do a job? I think it's not an unreasonable expectation to turn around and say that he's got potential. And the only way you're going to find out is to put Premier League defences in front of him and say, okay, show me what you can do. So, and look at it this way. He, as you say, he's another English player. He's 24 years of age. So again, this is what we need to try and do. We need to try and get players that are on the upward curve. At 24 years of age, he should be not at his peak yet, but we're getting him when he's working his way towards his peak, rather than players that are 32 that that actually now they're on the other side of that particular curve and that they're now on the downward slide, which is what we've done so many times over the years. I've lost count. So looking at this guy, he's a Championship player, Blackburn Rovers. He's on contract for another year as of the 30th of June. So, with a player like that, I always think when you've got a player that's only got a year left on his contract, that the club are actually in a bit of a dodgy spot. It's a bit like Lingard, Manchester United. Manchester United have to get rid of him for whatever they can in this transfer window. Otherwise, they're going to either get very, very little in January or nothing the following season. So unless he signs a contract, which, when it gets to that stage, you kind of think, well, if they were going to sign a contract, it would have probably been done by now. So you suspect that that's not the case. So, he's rated as 14.4 mil by Transfer Market. And for the purposes of this, that's what we're going with. I would actually argue, rightly or wrongly, and time will tell, but if he gets sold in the summer, and I suspect he probably will, I think he's not going to go for anything like that amount. I think he's probably going to go for about 8, maybe 10 million at a best.
Yeah, the issue is, Gatesy, I think the reason why Transfer Market has done that is Newcastle get 40% of the transfer.
Yeah.
So I think that's the reason. So I think that's the reason why they're playing hardball as well. But no, like I said, I'm a huge fan of him. So yeah.
Thing is, you say about playing hardball, if he digs his heels in and stays another 12 months, then Blackburn get nothing and neither do Newcastle. So false economy, in my opinion. Anyway, so just looking down the stats here, Championship, 40 appearances, 28 goals, 5 assists, 3 yellow cards. Again, you can turn around and say it's a second tier league. Yes, it is, but he can only score against the teams that are put in front of him. So that's the nuts and bolts of it. So looking here, his main position is a centre forward. He can also be deployed on either wing. Again, more versatility. He's got 5 caps for the under-21s team. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was he not one of the members of the England under-20 team that won the World Cup? In fact, if I scroll up here, I think he was. Yes,
is that his medal at the top?
World Cup champion. Yeah, he's an under-20 World Cup champion. He is also, this one here, I think is the European under-17 champion. Now, I know it's youth titles, but he's got a little bit of a pedigree at that level at the very least. So, just looking here, 5 caps for the under-21s, 13 for the under-20s, 9 for the under-19s, 18, 17, 16s. So this is a guy that has been operating at a top level in youth level international competitions. As you say, he's from Newcastle before he was at Blackburn. And as you say, there is a sell-on clause of 40% of any future sale. But as I say, I know they want to play hardball because of this 40%. But as I said earlier, if he digs his heels in and says that he's staying for another year and he'll leave on a free, not only do Blackburn not get a penny, neither do Newcastle United. So, I think he's got to be sold in this window. Otherwise, everybody loses out. The only person that won't lose out is the player himself because he can negotiate a higher wage because there's no transfer fee involved. So 14.4 million off of your budget, Mr. Manager, leaves you with an absolutely pitiful amount. Just crumbs, £31.45 million. Please tell me you're done.
No.
Oh, God. I've got to press more buttons.
I think he's been in quite a few teams. Dookie's going to love me for this as well. It is the striking sensation from Salzburg, Paston Daka.
There he is.
Yeah.
Talk to me about this fellow. Why do you want this guy through the door specifically, Mr. Manager? What does he bring to the table?
Pace, and lots of it. No, he brings everything to the table, Gatesy. This is he's not as big as Antonio, but this is probably the biggest mould we've got to Antonio, if that makes sense, with regards to he's running off the ball. And I've seen him a couple of times. I know you can't. Everyone on YouTube, when they say how good they are, they only put the good highlights on. But I like what I see of him, mate. And European experience as well with Salzburg. Young. I'm not saying he may get as good as him, but he sort of reminds me of Mane as well. That sort of mould. Do you know what I mean? Quite small, but a lot of power and a lot of pace, and he can finish, mate. So yeah, he's gone down on my valuation as well. So I've even got more money to spend because I had him at 22 million.
I know exactly what you've got left, mate, but I'll tell you once you've got the spiel about this fella. So, Patson Daka, 22 years of age. He's a Zambian international. He's currently at Red Bull Salzburg in the Austrian Bundesliga. He has a contract there until June 30th, 2024. Transfer Market have rated him at £19.8 million. And just looking here, he made 28 appearances in the league. This is absolutely ridiculous. 27 goals and 7 assists. He has more goal involvements in league football last season than he does appearances. Now, I don't care what league you are playing in, but if you can have more goal involvements than you have appearances in whatever level of football you are in, that is phenomenal. That is absolutely ridiculous. Now, he's centre forward by trade. Again, bit of versatility about this fella, though, because he can also be shifted out either left or wide right. And just looking here, he's got 22 caps for the Zambian national team with 7 goals. And he has been at Salzburg since the 1st of July 2017. And as Milesy says, what he brings to the table is raw, sheer pace, power, and a finishing instinct. So that is your goal scorer alongside Mr. Adam Armstrong from the Championship. And I got to tell you, Mr. Miles, that you've got still sitting in your back pocket, should you so wish to play with it, 11.65 million. Now, originally, when you came to me and you said, this is my list, Gatesy, you obviously did it on the basis of the prices you were looking at the time. But I'll let you go with the prices that they are now. So do you want to keep that 11.65 and give that back to Mr. Sullivan? Or are you possibly looking at doing something else?
New goalkeeper, please, mate. I'm taking McCarthy out and putting Woodman in, please.
Okay, so we're going back a pace. Now, remind me, McCarthy was 4.5, I believe.
Yeah.
Is that right?
I think. So, sorry to mess you about.
No. This is live streaming at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm just going to go back onto Transfer Market. I'm fairly sure that he was 4.5 million. So let me just put this in. Obviously, I've got to do the sums, and so Alex McCarthy, yes, he was 4.5 million. So we're taking him off the list. So if we 0.65, so we put on another 4.5 mil, which means that your budget is now 16.15 million. And you are now, instead of bringing in Alex McCarthy, you're bringing in Freddie Woodman. Yeah. And he, on Transfer Market, is rated at 9 million. So I'm just going to wait for this to go with this particular purchase, Mr. Manager. That will leave you with 7.15 million. So again, you could potentially bring in another player, maybe, all depending if you felt it were necessary, or you could give this money back to Mr. Sullivan, because I know that you like him that much and you feel sorry for him.
Right. This is going to cause some rubbish because you mentioned him as well, because I didn't have enough. Can you check how much I made
before you do? I'm just going to just going to bring this up for the people at home in case because there will inevitably be maybe some people that are either watching this live or subsequently that maybe don't know too much about this fella.
Yeah.
So Freddie Woodman, there he is. I'll just go full screen with him. So Freddie Woodman. Now, am I right in saying he's the son of Andy Woodman, the former Crystal Palace goalkeeper?
I think so, mate. I think so.
Yeah. Because I think I got a funny feeling because Andy Woodman and Gareth Southgate are best mates, and I've got a funny feeling Freddie Woodman is actually the godson of Gareth Southgate, I think.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, useless information, but I'm fairly sure that's right. I remember reading that somewhere. I'm fairly sure Andy Woodman and Gareth Southgate are best mates, and Freddie is Gareth's godson. There you go. So he's 24 years of age. Place of birth was London. He's obviously therefore English. His contract at Newcastle United runs until the 30th of June 2023. He's been there for just about 9 years. Not bad. Rated at £9 million by Transfer Market. He made 45 appearances in the Championship for Swansea City. He only conceded 38 goals and kept 20 clean sheets. Again, you can turn around all you want and say, yeah, but he's playing against second-class strikers and all the rest of it. He's still got to keep the ball out of the net, ladies and gentlemen. Again, he can only play what's put in front of him. So he was in the starting 11 98% of the times, and he played 98% of the minutes, 33% penalty saves. Now, again, I don't care who you're facing. If you can save 1 out of every 3 penalties you are facing, then trust me, you are doing something very well.
Definitely.
He has caps at England. Look at that. Under 21s, 20s, 19s, 18s, 17s, and 16s. So he has a pedigree, in terms of age-related football, he's at the very top of the tree. And and there it is. Yes, he is indeed. He's the son of Andy Woodman, who is now manager of Bromley. So I see. It's Mark. Who's the old? Is it Mark Goldberg? Wasn't it the old Crystal Palace chairman? I think he owns the club, and I think he used to be the manager as well. So Newcastle, Swansea. He's also been on loan at Aberdeen in Scotland. He's also been on loan at Kilmarnock, Crawley Town, Hartlepool United. So he's done the rounds in lower leagues. He's done the rounds in Scotland. And you're now bringing him in to be the number one, or at least push Fabianski next season ahead of possibly a passing of the torch, maybe 12 months down the line. And Kent's just jumped in. Southgate is godfather. You're right, Rob. I think Freddie went to Newcastle when his dad was goalkeeper coach, I think, under Pardew. Yeah, that sounds about right, Kent. I'm fairly sure that Andy Woodman was there as a goalie coach at some point. And then, it probably would have been under Pardew because, again, there's that Crystal Palace connection. So, so Freddie Woodman has been swapped out for Alex McCarthy. So Alex McCarthy's been binned, and we brought in Freddie Woodman.
And it's not so much that, Gates, as well. Like 24 years of age, that's ridiculous for a goalkeeper.
Mad.
Of that quality. So like him. And my last one, mate, is because he was just a little bit more expensive. Could you check our mate at Burnley, Dwight McNeil? Because I'll swap him for Eze if I've got enough cash, please.
Let's have a little wee look. So, Dwight McNeil. Now, Dwight McNeil, according to Transfer Market, what was it? What did we get Eze for?
I don't know. It's 18, wasn't it? Yeah, that went down for what?
Right. Okay. Let's just commit this to memory. Dwight McNeil on Transfer Market is 19.8 million. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, I've definitely got enough then.
So Eze, let's have a little wee look here. As I say, you got Eze was 18 million. So if we put 18 million on the 17 and a half, I mean, you're going to have enough money if you want to swap out Eze for McNeil, you can do it.
Yeah. I'll do that, please, mate. It's like
what's that? Money. Okay. Because if you put Eze back to Palace, then you get your 18 million back. Yeah. Takes you to 25.15 million, and as I say, McNeil's 19.8. So,
yeah,
is that what you want to do?
Yes, please, mate.
Okay.
And
Okay, right.
like,
So
I've got a lot of English players. I really have. I've brought a lot of English.
Yeah, by British, by English. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, just letting this load up. So, okay. So you obviously earlier you extolled the virtues of Eberechi Eze of Crystal Palace, and you articulated your reasoning for bringing him in. Similarly, though, what is the reason that you would favour McNeil over Eze?
His delivery of the ball, mate. His delivery of the ball is ridiculous, and I'm old school, mate. He's probably. I don't know whether you could probably name a couple. How many left-footed wingers on the left-hand side is there in the Premier League now?
Very few now, because they seem to be
Yeah.
in my world, they're playing on the wrong side. They're not wingers, they're inside forwards. Completely different thing.
Yeah. And the thing is, mate, is Antonio, like I've brought all these attacking players in, but you've got Antonio, you've got Daka who can head the ball. Like if you've got someone like McNeil crossing the ball in, you're going to score a goal. So imagine him crossing the ball to Souček as well.
Yeah,
it'll be breathtaking.
Or Dawson.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, and that sort of takes the pressure off Creswell as well, Gatesy. Because if Creswell's not playing, we've got another player who can do very well and cross the ball. So I've always been a huge fan of him. In my opinion, if we did want to buy him, you'd be looking at double the cost. In my opinion.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that for a minute. But as I say, for the purposes of this little series, we're going with transfer market valuations, mate. So if he's down as 19.8 on transfer market, you've got yourself a little bargain there, I think. I mean, just looking here, he's 21 years of age. I mean, he's nowhere near his peak. And already I look at the kid and think he's frightening.
Yeah. He's got very good close control, hasn't he, Gatesy? Very good close control. It just like sticks to him. So you say that as well. I just think he'll be a good addition. 21 years of age, getting our average age down. Imagine that in that running at you, Bowen on one side and McNeil on the other, and Daka through the middle, and Depay Cam.
Yeah, and Adam Armstrong to come on as a sort of last 20 minutes, half hour sub to really sort of, run them ragged when they're blowing out of their backsides. So 19.8 million, Dwight McNeil, 21 years of age. He's from Rochdale. He's obviously English. His contract at Burnley runs until the 30th of June 2024. 19.8 million on transfer market, 36 Premier League appearances last season, 2 goals, 5 assists, 1 yellow card. He was in the starting 11 89% of the time, playing 90% of the minutes. Default possession is left winger. Other position is down as left midfield, according to transfer market. Under 21 caps, he's got 10 for the under 21s team. He's got 6 for the under 20s. And before he was at Burnley, he was a Manchester United youth player. So Dwight McNeil has come in place of Eberechi Eze. And that means, Mr. Manager, that in your transfer budget, you've still got £5.35 million. Now, I'm going to bring up a comment that has come in from our friend Kent.
Yeah.
This one here. Have you looked at Callum Styles at Barnsley? He's only a pittance and can play 3 positions. Well, you've got...
No.
Shall I have a look for you?
Yeah. I'll have a look. In passing, I saw the name rings a bell because I always watch the playoff semi-finals, and I'm sort of just trying. Once you probably show me a picture of him, I'll realise who he is. But we'll have a look and see, mate. I like a bargain.
His name in. Yeah, I'm just typing him in now. Oh wow, you could easily afford this kid. Easily.
Okay.
And you'd still have money left over. Right, hold on.
Cool.
I'm just letting it load up. But this could be a decent shout. And you and I both know that Kent knows his stuff. So if Kent's sort of like giving you and when you see the price, one thing I'll say is even if he came in and didn't really make a success of it, the mere fact that he's come in and he's got Premier League experience, should, if you box clever, mean that you should at least get your money back and maybe a bit more besides. So I'm just going to share this with everybody at home. So this is a guy, Callum Styles. Now, this is on the recommendation of Ken, who obviously just put this in. So I'll just get rid of that. There he is, 1.44 million.
Wow.
It's punt money. I'm not being funny, but Manchester City spend more on that on in their training ground on biscuits.
21 years of age as well. Wow.
Yep. Let's just look at the nuts and bolts of this, because I've got to be honest, not a player I know an awful lot about. But as I say, Kent's come good for Milesy potentially. So Barnsley FC, who obviously got to the playoffs, didn't they? In the season just finished. He's a Bury native, English, 21 years of age, left midfield is his default position, and he's rated as £1.44 million worth of talent according to Transfer Market. Now, 42 appearances in the Championship, 4 goals, 4 assists, 7 yellow cards. Now, I'm not being funny. Straight away, I'm looking at that and going, a 21-year-old left midfielder in the Championship, 4 goals, 4 assists.
Is he left-footed, Gatesy? Does it say? Is he left-footed?
I can find out. Just bear with me. So looking here, yes, he is left-footed. Yes.
Cool. And he can play in the centre as well.
This is an old-school winger. This is not... Yeah, attacking midfield, central midfield, as well as a left midfielder. He's young, and look at his this is something I also like to try and look for. His valuation has absolutely gone up exponentially since here October 15th, 2020, and now here we are, and it's up here. And I know it's only 1.44 million, but he's on the upward curve. And looking here, Barnsley FC and Bury are the clubs that he's been at.
Yeah.
So it's up to you, Mr. Manager. I can't say that I've seen this guy play an awful lot, but I think if you box clever with this kid, I think you could either get a Premier League player out of him, in the not too distant future potentially, or you could train him on and maybe sell him on and make a tidy profit. Entirely up to you, though. It's your 5.35 million to play with.
Yeah, no, I'll have him. He looks like Harry Styles as well, and Jimmy Bullard with that Barnet.
So 1.44 million subtracted off of 5.35 million leaves you with 3.91 million. Are we done?
No, do you know what? I'm gonna have a look at.
Okay, interesting.
Oh, I didn't know. Oh, wow.
Youth rejects. Well, I know one of them was McNeil. Who was the other one?
Yeah. Who was the other one?
I'm trying to think. So
Armstrong's Newcastle. Who's the other one then?
I can't think. He'll probably jump in a minute, and he'll tell us, and then I'll go, of course, yeah, I forgot about him. By Jordan Hugill. Jake.
Morning, Jake.
You had on your Cocoa Pops? Ah, yes.
Yes, Brownhill
wasn't he?
Oh,
yes, he was. Well, I suppose because Manchester and Burnley, they're fairly close proximity. So I suppose if Manchester United kick players out, then Burnley are probably going to have a little look at them. So stands to reason, I guess.
No, you know what?
So who are you thinking?
I think I'm happy.
As I say, it's 3.91 million. You can put it in your back pocket and give it to Isla, or
I'm giving it to Isla. I'm giving it to Isla.
Good.
I wish I could give more.
There we go. Don't we all, mate? Don't we all? So let's just run through this, ladies and gentlemen. So the original selections were Alex McCarthy, Ryan Bertrand, Roman Saiz, Joe Worrell. What's the Albanian fella? Hayes. Okay. Eze, Yokushlu, Brownhill, Depay, Daka, and Armstrong. However, Milesy then had a little bit of a change of tack, and we've got rid of Alex McCarthy and we've got rid of Eberechi Eze, and in their place we have brought in Freddie Woodman, we've brought in Dwight McNeil, and we have brought in Callum Styles. So that, by my maths, is 13 players. And you've got £3.91 million in change. Not
I'm gonna
bad. Not bad.
I'm gonna take the money, Gatesy, and run.
He's gonna take the money. He's gonna make a donation to Isla. I like it.
Yeah.
That gets my ringing endorsement.
Yeah. No, mate. I love that.
Bad business.
Look at next door's cat. Look in the shed. Look.
That's not even your cat. That's just
next door.
Ridiculous. So cheeky. So cheeky.
Look, she like.
Mind you, I bet
she
you
loves.
feed it, didn't you?
Yeah. Look, she loves the mirror. Look.
Bloody scavenger.
She's harmless.
You won't be saying that if she starts clawing at your eyes when you don't feed her.
Yeah.
Well, we mentioned it earlier, and I'm going to bring it up now. So you know the story, guys, and if you don't, Isla is battling neuroblastoma. She's a young girl, and she's in a lot of trouble, and she's fighting hard, but she needs our help, and so do her family, because they got to pay for the treatment that's going to save her life. Hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood. So I don't really care whether you're a football fan watching this. I don't really care whether you're a West Ham fan. You know, if you've got a compassionate bone in your body, then just put yourself in the position of this family and just think that, you know, if you've got, God forbid, a sick young girl fighting for her life and you couldn't get the treatment on the NHS and you had to get treatment abroad and pay for flights, pay for accommodation, living costs, treatment, etc., what would you do? You'd struggle. This family is struggling and they need our help. Now, what I've got on that banner there with the Just Giving page is on the description below the video on both YouTube and on Facebook. So there's no excuse, guys. You can copy it and you can paste it and put it on all of your social media platforms. There is no excuse for this. It's easily done. Just copy, paste, done. Put a little note what it's about so that people reading it can go, oh, okay, there's a little girl that needs her help. I might put a couple of quid into this particular pot. And if you can put some money into the pot, then so much the better. But if you can't, please just do us a favor and put this on your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram, and all the rest of it. Time really is of the essence. I keep saying this, but you know, every single day that whizzes past where this little girl hasn't been given the thumbs up by the medical team, it's another day that this girl's got to go through a fight. She's got to go through pain. She's got to go through the rigors of, you know, facing the illness that she's got day to day. So the sooner we can get her right and she hasn't got to face this battle, the better that is for everyone. And guys, as always, I thank you very much indeed for your attention. And one final thing to bring your attention to: tomorrow, England kick off in Euro 2021. Now, we at Fulsham Ireland, so that's me, that's Duke, that's Milesy, and various other people along the way have all said, you know, that they will help with this campaign in various different ways. We have a hashtag going on our Twitter page, which is @ForgedTalk, and the hashtag is Forged Goals for the number 4 Isla. And basically, as far as I'm concerned, Miles is concerned, and Duke's concerned, for every goal that England score at the European Championships, we will be donating £5 to Isla's fund for her treatment and all the other things that they've got to pay for as a result. And various other people have come in and said that they'll either match us or go more than us, or, you know, a little bit less because maybe they can't afford as much as we can. So, but whatever anyone can donate is appreciated. I don't care whether you donate £1 a goal. I don't care whether you know, whatever the amount is, we thank you for it. We thank you. Now, if any of you guys that are watching this are on Twitter and you see any of our tweets going out with the hashtag on, please, could you retweet it? Please, because again, it's all about the momentum. It's all about raising the awareness, spreading the word, and informing people that, number one, primarily, there's a young girl that needs our help. Secondly, it's bringing people's attention to the fact that despite the fact that we are the world's 5th largest economy, we do not have treatment for this in this country. The NHS is a wonderful thing, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not bashing it. I'm really not. And it's made, you know, it's even more precious as a result of the last 12 months, trust me. But fundamentally, this little girl, in my opinion, should not be having to be put in a position where she's having to go here, there, and everywhere to different places, you know, where to get treatment when we are one of the biggest economies in the world. Just doesn't make sense to me. So we need to not only get the treatment for this little girl, but we need to try and put pressure on people in high office to say to them, look, this needs to change. This can't carry on, because Isla's not going to be the only one. There have been many before. There'll be many after that have this thing, and we need to try and get this changed. You know, simple as that. Because I don't want to keep having to hear stories like this. I really don't.
Yeah.
So, but as I say, if any of you see the tweets going out with the hashtag forged goals for Isla, and if you know, retweet it, again, gains the momentum. Yeah. If any of you that are watching think I'd like to contribute, whatever's comfortable for you guys. If all you can contribute is £1 a goal, if all you can contribute is 50 pence a goal, or if you're a bit more flush and you're like, I'm going to contribute 20 quid a goal. Do you know what? Whatever. As usual, the Just Giving page, that's your go-to place. And that's it. That's us done, Mr. Miles. I think you've done some good business there. As I say, you've got 13 players in total in the end. It was originally 12, but then you've had your little swap around.
Yeah.
So it's now 13 players, 3.91 million that we can give back to Mr. Sullivan. And who knows, he might make a video or two with it.
Yeah. On a Saturday. In this nice weather. Yeah. Fly over on an helicopter, and you just see him laying there on his sun lounger.
Don't. Anyway, guys,
no preface has just come up in it, Gatesy.
I didn't want to see it that quickly. Guys, as usual, do us a favour, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit the bell icon. Also, if I could be really cheeky, do us a favor with this video, share it again, share this video onto your YouTube, onto your Facebook, your Twitter, all your social media platforms. Again, it's just about getting our name out there and maybe getting an extra subscriber or two. And as a bolt onto that, they then find out about Isla, etc., etc. So please put us onto your social media platform, share us out there, and let's grow this channel and try and grow the awareness for Isla as well. That would be fantastic. Milesy, it's been an absolute pleasure, my friend.
Yeah, no, I just want to say, I know it's early and Saturday, people in the chat, especially Kent and Jake coming in the end, Jazz, these shows are not the same without these shows are not the same without the live chat. So
100%. And for those of you guys that are watching, you've got 7 minutes now. Get yourself over to West Ham Unofficial. Young Jake Cox, he's doing fantastic things over there. Yeah. And get yourself over there. And if you haven't subscribed to him, please do. Please do. Give him all your support as well. Guys, I'm going to end it there. I'm going to hit the credits and then we're going to end the broadcast. Milesy, I think there's I know what you're going to finish with. Please do.
We are fucking massive.
And Fresh, you've turned up late. Yeah, you'll have to catch up later. I'm not doing it all over again. Darren, thanks for coming, mate. And he says it's just uploading. So we'll let you crack on with that, Jake. And as far as I'm concerned, only thing I'm going to finish with is come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons.
Don't forget, hashtag forged goals for Isla. Come on, England.